Oscar De La Hoya just destroyed Jake Paul after he canceled the highly anticipated Mike Tyson fight. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul has been making all the buzz in the fight world ever since it was announced in March. The excitement was through the roof before Jake decided to pull the plug on the blockbuster fight. Boxing pros are weighing in their opinions, including Oscar De La Hoya, who's putting the problem child on a blast. Tyson deserves better than this clown, he says. Oscar's always been a vocal critic of Paul's celebrity boxing shtick, but his recent verbal smackdown of the athlete has taken the fight world by storm.
And Jake Paul trying to climb the ladder through Mike Tyson, it's not a good look.
Get this, Oscar is lashing out at Paul for canceling the biggest fight of his career. De La Hoya doesn't mince words here. He claims this whole fight was a shameless money grab for Paul, a way to ride the coattails of a legend for fame. But when push came to shove, and the reality of facing Mike Tyson set in, Paul chickened out. According to De La Hoya, Paul was banking on a hobbled, out-of-shape Tyson, an easy win and a massive payday. But Tyson, despite his age, still carries that brutal knockout power. The Golden Boy suspects Paul got a good look at the fire in Tyson's eyes and realized this wasn't the paycheck collecting exhibition he signed up for. De La Hoya said, "Chicken McNugget afraid of Iron Mike, please. Dude saw Tyson's training vids, realized this ain't a scripted knockout for his vlog. Ulcer? More like a case of cold feet. YouTubers don't belong in the same ring with legends." Now, the boxing promoter was never on board with Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul when it first hit the news. Yeah, this matchup really had everyone and their grandmas scratching their heads. I mean, think about it, a newbie YouTuber turned boxer stepping into the ring with the greatest heavyweight of all time. It wasn't just a mismatch on paper, it was a blatant disrespect for the sport and a slap in the face to a legend. Let's break it down for a second. This matchup was sending the fight world into a frenzy. People were hyped up, bets were placed, and the excitement was through the roof. And then, bam! The fight's called off. Turns out Mike had a health hiccup on his cross-country fight from Miami to Los Angeles. The boxing legend had an ulcer flare-up and required assistance 30 minutes before the plane landed. When you've got a man pushing 60s gearing up for a boxing fight, health episodes are inevitable, but Iron Mike assured fans that this wasn't going to affect the bout, only to call off the whole shebang a few days later. "I want to thank my fans around the world for their support and understanding during this time. Unfortunately, due to my ulcer flare-up, I have been advised by my doctor to lighten my training for a few weeks to rest and recover. My body is in better overall shape than it has been since the 1990s, and I will be back to my full training schedule soon." Jake Paul, this may have bought you some time, but in the end, you will still be knocked out and out of boxing for good. I appreciate everyone's patience and can't wait to deliver an unforgettable performance later this year. But this statement threw the whole boxing community into speculations. Is Mike really sick, or is Jake throwing him under the bus for it? I mean, look at the man. He looks healthier than ever.
You say you want to be a world champion. You say you want to take this sport serious. Then take it serious.
De La Hoya isn't buying the whole Mike Tyson's too old narrative. Sure, Iron Mike might be 58, but Father Time hasn't stolen everything. The thing about punching power, they say, is the last to go. Tyson still got that lightning in his fists. After all, he was the youngest man to clinch the heavyweight title. More importantly, De La Hoya emphasizes that Tyson's boxing IQ is undeniable. He spent years under the tutelage of the legendary Cus D'Amato, so he's got a deep understanding of the sweet science. Don't get fooled by the gray hairs, folks. Tyson can still dance around the ring, his reflexes honed by muscle memory.
On Mike Tyson's expense? Do I like it? No, because I love Mike Tyson. I'm just concerned about, Tyson's legacy. That's it.
Forget retirement. De La Hoya's unleashing a verbal fury on Jake Paul. He's calling out Jake Paul for cherry-picking opponents and posing as a real boxer. This kid keeps calling himself a professional, but where's the proof? De La Hoya throws punches with his words. He keeps picking on retired guys, washed-up celebrities past their prime. Beating up a YouTuber or an ex-NBA player doesn't make you a champion, Jake. It makes you a bully. I mean, I can see where Oscar's coming from. The whole fight world has been calling the problem child out for his orchestrated charades against hand-picked opponents. The proof is in Paul's boxing record. Nate Robinson, Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz. See the common trend here? All retired, old, and way past their primes. De La Hoya went on about the difference between internet fame and genuine boxing skills in the ring. He talks a big game online, but when it comes to facing real competition, he disappears faster than a clickbait ad. Where's the fight with a young, hungry contender? Where's the climb up the rankings? The dedication to the craft? The boxing legend shakes his head in disbelief. This whole thing is a farce. He's built a career on carefully curated fights, picking opponents with zero chance of winning. It's a con job, folks. He's playing you, the fans, and disrespecting the sport that built legends. De La Hoya goes on the offensive, and he's not wrong. The problem child is always going on and on about how he wants to become the world champion. Stepping into the ring with Tyson won't bring you titles, Jakey. Well, good thing these matchups are out of the way. The whole fight world had been trying to knock some sense into Paul before he signed this contract. But of course, Jake being Jake realized what he was up against a little too late. If Jake Paul wants to be taken seriously, if he wants a shot at a real title, then he needs to step up and fight the top 10 contenders in his division. You know, guys who are hungry, who've trained their whole lives for this moment. He's got to earn his stripes and show us that he has the heart, the skills, and the dedication to go the distance. All he has done so far is hide behind these predetermined exhibitions just to pad his follower count. De La Hoya didn't hold back at all when he said, "Because right now, Jake Paul, you look more like a social media influencer playing dress-up in a boxing ring than a real fighter on the path to glory." Let's get this straight. Fighting a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, even a faded legend, wouldn't have magically transformed Jake Paul into a legitimate boxer.
Paul wants to take the sport serious, then he should be fighting young guys who are top 15, top 10, not heroes and legends like Mike Tyson.
Sure, it would have generated a ton of clicks and headlines, but true respect in this sport is earned, not bought with a celebrity fight. De La Hoya breaks it down like a seasoned trainer. The real test, Jake, isn't facing a past his prime heavyweight. It's stepping into the ring with the young guns, the middleweights and super middleweights dominating the current scene. Guys like Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin, or even Demetrius Andrade. Those are the names you should be chasing if you want to be taken seriously in the boxing world. And just when we thought the whole Mike Tyson fiasco was over, the plot thickens. And here comes another curveball. In a desperate attempt to salvage some credibility, and maybe some PPV buys, Jake Paul has scrambled to find a replacement opponent. And who, you ask, has stepped into the ring to face the problem child on July 20th? None other than Mike Perry, the Platinum Princess himself. This might seem like a step up from Paul's usual YouTuber or retired athlete opponents, but let's pump the brakes before we start engraving Paul's name in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Sure, Mike Perry is a tough dude. He's a former standout in the UFC, known for his brutal brawling style and relentless pressure. He even made a name for himself in the bare-knuckle fighting championship, proving he's not afraid to get down and dirty. But here's the thing. While Perry is a dangerous fighter in his prime, he's not exactly the golden ticket to boxing legitimacy that Paul thinks it is. So what does Jake Paul need to do to earn some real boxing cred? Here's the recipe. Ditch the social media stunts, the celebrity matchups, and the carefully curated opponents. Step up to the plate and fight the top contenders in your weight class. Show us you have the dedication, the skills, and the heart to go the distance against the best of the best. That's how you earn respect, that's how you become a champion, and that's how you silence the likes of Oscar De La Hoya. Right now, Paul's in a really bad light, going around and canceling fights like he's the king of the world. He's got a lot to salvage and make up for, and the time's running out. The problem child needs to get his head into the game if he wants to become a respected pro. So there you have it, Fight World. That's all I have for you today. What are your thoughts on Oscar's verbal smackdown of Paul? Make sure to fill the comments section with your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more boxing news. See you in the next video.